We just don't have sound through that file. So it says we're live. Let's see if YouTube will start showing us that we're live. Do we have any? It says I'm streaming. It says I'm streaming to but it won't start till 8. That's why. No problem. No a problem. It just won't accept it until 8, maybe? I don't know. Well, let's check the audio then. How do we sound with nothing else going on? Hey, that's not too bad. I can tell I'm in an empty room, but that's not a big deal. All right. So if it goes live while we're still watching this football game, that is a local video file I'm playing on my Mailbox Pro, and it is, you trying to sign in? Yes, it's me, but let's just kill that. All right, good deal. Just to have something for Phil in case anybody gets in and can see what's going on while I'm still testing to make sure everything is showing up the way it's supposed to. So camera there. Let's see. Yep, camera there. That's good. Want to go into my Mevo and eMeet. That's going to be on the iPad, so camera there and camera there. All right, that's good, both of those. Yep. And then when I go into my, what have we got here? Oh yeah, the OBSBot Tail Air camera there. That looks pretty good, okay. And then we've got the Nearstream VM33 camera there behind these others so that we have a shot of what these actually are. My other Nearstream VM33 is going to be here. We'll look at them in comparison to one another in size in just a little while, but I'm still not live yet. I wonder if it would let me go live if I were to refresh that. Nope. I wonder if I need to go live with an RTMP. Well, at 8 o'clock, we'll know, right? What I can do is go to my channel, right? Yep. It says 1 live stream. There's 5 watching. Well, hang on just a second. That says I'm there. It says I'm live here. Hot diggity schmiggity. Ah, there it is. There is my live stream. Hey, Trevor Rayburn. How's it going, my man? I'm glad the notification worked on YouTube. That's wonderful. Switch over to a camera where you can see me. Hey, what's going on, fellas? Folks, fellas or not. Thanks, Michael, for the audio help there. Thank you for checking in from Australia as well. Stream My Sport. That's good stuff. So as folks are checking in and I am trying to follow along on chat, we will we'll talk through what I've got set up. I'll show you kind of what this is, and then we will take questions. If you have questions about hardware or software from any of these cameras that I've got set up, and so let me show you. I can show you like this. So that's a software shot of the Nearstream VM33 software. I know that's not a full screen image, but that shows you the cameras. So I've got the OBSBot Tail Air, the eMeet StreamCam 1, the Mevo Start, and what I'm actually using for the camera to stream from, and that's the OBSBot Tiny 2, and that's going to let me just talk to you when I'm not trying to show you something. So if you've got questions for the software that's associated with the OBSBot, the eMeet, the Mevo, or the Nearstream, I'll do my best to show you and tell you because I've got each of these as an input into my Mailbox Pro, so we should be able to figure out together what we've got going on with each of those pieces of software. Yeah, I'm seeing a 25, 30-second delay on my end, Trevor. I don't know what YouTube has going tonight or what the deal is. I'm streaming out at about 3,000 kilobits per second, 30 frames, and I'm not getting any dropped frames with my Mailbox Pro right now. It's reporting to be perfect, so looks like it's going pretty well. Uh, so just so you know, um, we'll take any questions that you've got. I do not mind trying to answer, and sometimes the best answer I can come up with is I don't know, but I'll try to figure it out and get an answer to you. But if you have questions about hardware or software, either one, for OBSBot Tail Air, eMeet StreamCam 1, Mevo Start, or Nearstream VM33, I'll be glad to try to answer them. I'll show you a little bit about the differences in size. So let me come over to this shot. Now, that's actually a shot, it's not a clean shot because it's the software that the OBSBot is going to be running whenever you get your Kickstarter pledge in. But let's see. Yep. So just looking at the difference between the cameras. So this is the Nearstream VM33. Okay. If you're used to looking at a Mevo Start, and a lot of folks are, let me unplug these. This is my sound camera for my soundboard. The difference in the Mevo Start and the VM33 light, there we go, a little bit of light. I don't have a whole lot there, but you can see the difference in footprint, so to speak. And then there's the difference in the side view. This is a good size block. It has to be, though, to have that 10x optical zoom, right? I mean, you can't have a lens in there that'll do a 10x optical zoom without it being a pretty good size camera, okay? Can OBSBot integrate with, okay, I guess I should go in order. So is YOLOBox an audio mixer? Is that the question, Trevor? Is YOLOBox an audio mixer? So that's the one thing I can't show you is my YOLOBox screen. I didn't do an HDMI out to show you on that one. I just ran out of devices. I've got a couple of Samsung tablets, a couple of iPads, and the YOLOBox all trying to hook together. But so I mean, yes, because it's taking audio from every source, so I can run any of my HDMI inputs, which would be my tablets, as an audio source. I'm just using, what is this? I'm using this one tonight. That's the microphone I'm using. So you can mix a little audio. They've got a decent little control panel there for the YOLOBox that will allow you to adjust the slider decibels for each input. You can turn them on or off. You can have audio follow video. If you want your audio to chase a camera, you can do that if you want to chase the camera view. But yeah, I've just got the mic in on. It'll do mic in or line in, but that's what I've got on right now. So okay, so question. Is there a Multicam app equivalent without having to use something complicated like OBS? For what purpose? All right. The next question is, can OBSBot integrate with Mevo? Let's get back over to this camera. Can it integrate with the Mevo? Absolutely. If you have an NDI-enabled OBSBot Tail Air. I think all of the ones on Kickstarter have included the NDI licensing. And so you turn on or you activate the NDI in the OBSBot settings. Let's see if I can show you what that looks like. Get this little mic stand out of the way. So yeah, this should show up. So if I go into settings in the OBSBot, in the Tail Air software, which by the way, they have dubbed OBSBot Start. That's their software. That's, at least at this point, that's what their software is to be called. All right, so I scroll up and I can see NDI mode is activated and NDI mode is turned on for this particular camera. So I could actually bring that camera into Mevo. I'll show you how to do that too, I guess. So I'm going to full screen that so I can see it. All right, so the question has been, will the tail air integrate with Mevo? I'm make sure, yeah, make sure I'm seeing that question correctly. All right, so in the Mevo software, I've got Stage Manager on, so I'm running both the eMeet and the Mevo software on my iPad. That allows me to have one device instead of two for this particular setup. I just so many devices. So if I want to add that tail air that's running that I was talking to just a second ago, I can go into NDI inputs. Now it's going to show me what's available in this room or connected to this network. And just to my right and above, because I'm at my church, it's empty. Nobody else is using this Wi-Fi, so it's the most reliable that I have, right? So I'm here at the sound booth, but my church camera, my PTZ camera is up there. I'm not going to attach to it, so let's go ahead and attach to the tail air connect. You can see on your screen, no you can't, because goofy me, I didn't show you that. Oh wait, yes I did. You are looking at that. Okay, look at the right device, Jason. It's going to be okay. All right, so yeah, we can connect to the tail air. Yep, we'll continue. Turn that sound off though. I don't want any, although I'm not, it's not on. Okay, so now I have the tail air here, right? So that's that same view over there. It's going to bog down just a little bit because I am congested across here. That's why I didn't have it on. I just have the tail air running in its own. So I'm going to go back and remove it. That's just the process to get it in there when you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, plus all my regular church streaming cameras attached to this network. Yeah, it's eventually going to bog down. But okay, so let's look back over at the, yep, there's the tail air. And the answer, long answer to a short question is yes, it will. Go ahead and let it follow me, I guess. That one's not going to anymore because they're opposite. So let it, the answer is yes, it will. Why is that zoomed in though? That's a good question. It will integrate with the Mevo. All right, so have any of you ever done a live stream for yourself like this, where you're running everything and you're answering questions and all that good stuff? It's fun. I thoroughly enjoy it. I kind of geek out on it, to be honest with you. However, it is also a little bit nerve-wracking because when you see something that went wrong in your stream, in your equipment, then you want to try to fix it, and that's not always the easiest thing in the world to do. All right, so let's get that back to full screen. Oh, hey now, don't do that. There we go, back to full screen. There we go, that's a whole lot better. It is following me because gesture turned it on, and I guess that's okay. All right, so I can see everything. Back to the camera that I'm going to be talking to. That's a little bit more comfortable, and back into questions. If I can find my mouse. There we are. Okay, good deal. All right, so that was, can OBSBot integrate with Mevo? Yes, it is, and that's how you did it. Oh, Lionel, I hope that track meet in Maryland was fantastic for you. I was so excited to see what you were going to be doing there. That's good stuff. Another app has an easier user interface, better than Multicam, that can use the Mevo Start cameras. Oh, I see what you're saying. So I have tried Top Director, Multicam, some of the subscription-based like Studio Switcher. I've tried a lot of those softwares that will take Mevo because of its NDI capabilities, and none of them are as easy as Multicam. To me, it's I was this close to running everything through Multicam, and then just bringing in a Mevo Go version of Nearstream and eMeet because they don't play nice yet. They don't have their NDI built in yet. But no, Multicam to me is light years ahead of anything else that I have tested. And I've done extensive testing with Top Director, and I really kind of like it. It's got some things that Mevo doesn't, but it's not easier. By no means is it easier, at least in my opinion. For what I use it for, it's not. Okay? All right. Back through the questions. Thank you, Michael. I appreciate the feedback. Sometimes I get lost in all this. What is NDI in its simplest terms? What's a good analogy for why to use it over the normal use out of the box? Okay, so if you're connecting a start to your Mevo Multicam or Mevo Single Cam network, there's no point in using it. But if you want to connect your, hey, check this out. So, yeah, the attention deficit disorder will be significant. But because I talk with my hands, I just turned on gestures and zoomed myself in on the obs bot. I don't know how I did it. I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna make it do it. Undo it again and see if we can because it just catches my attention. Anyway, but if you're trying to run that Mevo Start into another piece of software, like I do sometimes on Sunday mornings, I'm, like I said, at my sound booth, and this computer here runs ProPresenter, and that's the media software that we use to show our media here in the sanctuary. And so, in order to stream from that same computer, I just NDI these Mevo Starts onto my network, and I pick them up, and it integrates very, very well. So, but an analogy as to what it is, it's putting a video signal on your network so that any device on the network that also reads NDI can pick it up. If there's a better way to say that, somebody in the comments please help me there, because that's off the top of my head. All right. Can the Yellow Box Pro be connected to a monitor so you can see everything? Yes, it can. And I should have done that. Like I say, I just ran out of devices and space. So let's see. Oh, hey Lionel, I got your message through YouTube. Are you on tonight? And obviously, you know that we are. So, good stuff. I was going to try to show you that, but I don't think I can. I just ran out of space for a monitor, but yes, you can. Good gravy, this attention span is like a gnat tonight. That's fantastic. Okay, NDI is a network device interface. It allows for video transmission without, I'm guessing that should have been HDMI or SDI cables. That's true. It's also a low latency protocol. Yes, it can be. Full NDI is not as, latency. Yes, it is a low latency protocol. That's true. And it can be low bandwidth. NDI HX, HX2, HX3, better quality and keeping that bandwidth at a minimum. It's really good. So low latency. That's a good one. Columbus High Blue Devils baseball. You haven't done one because of the nerve-wracking part. Hey, I appreciate the honesty. That's good stuff. And I'm realizing that I'm way out of practice. I used to do these about twice a month, and I haven't in a long time. And man, I'm out of practice on this. It's fun though. It's good stuff, and I appreciate y'all's patience with me. Fathead 302, is the VM33 compatible yet with Mevo Multicam? Oh, I wish it was. I can't wait for them to get NDI baked in to their software. It's gonna change baseball streaming for everybody. It may change church streaming for a lot of folks too, because of, and I'm gonna show you just a second. So look here. So this is the software view of the VM33. You've asked if it's compatible with Multicam yet, and it's not, because NDI is not in the VM33 yet. Okay, but here's why it would be so wonderful. Okay, so if I go into the image adjustments there, I don't know if that's big enough on your screen for you to see that I am zoomed in to the 15th click from where that camera is to get the shot that I'm talking to you on right now. Okay, that camera is sitting on my piano at the very front of this building. And so 15 times zoom here. If I were to zoom that all the way out, it's not a fast zoom, but it's a good zoom. And I need to turn autofocus back on so it can do that. That's how far away this camera actually is. And there's 40 clicks on it. Now I know all of those are not optical zoom. It's a 10x optical zoom, and I'm really not clear as to where the clicks for optical zoom stop and digital zoom start. It's not 1 through 10 and then 11 through 40. That's not reasonable. But I'm a long way away from where this camera is actually sitting. And so that over-the-shoulder picture shot, I'm telling you, that's the one that everybody wants. And for the VM33 to finally get NDI, when it does, whenever that roadmap is, whenever they roll it out, it's because it's a very budget-friendly camera. That's going to change so much for people who need that center field shot. And it's gonna mean you've got to get creative with your network and get your router out close enough to it that or maybe you have to run a pair of routers to run that for a mesh network or something like that. But the short answer was no, it's not. But the long answer was, man, when it does, it's going to be incredible. The back of the church to front of the church shot is going to be good for a lot of church streamers as well. So let me get back to just talking to you instead of looking at that software. So, all right. Try to catch up with the questions again. Yep. Is it also possible, this is Addie's Lackman, is it also possible to connect Mevo Start cameras to the application of the OBSBot Tail Air? No. But this is their first attempt at the software. Can I say it like that? It only works on Android. They haven't even released the iOS version of it yet. It is NDI, so it makes sense that at some point maybe it could, but with the software version that we have now, it is a pre-release version still. I mean, you tell me, what's the timeline on the Kickstarter? What are they telling you? When are they telling you it's going to ship? Those of you that back the OBSBot on Kickstarter. Because that's going to tell me when that iOS app is going to come out. That's going to tell me when it's a whole lot closer to actual the ready-to-use software. And I don't know what that is yet. I would rather have Mevo announce or at least hint to an optical zoom new camera coming out soon. But as soon as the VM33 is compatible with it, will be the first buy. Yeah, Fathead302, I don't disagree with you. So many folks who have used Mevo for so long. I mean, there are folks that you are in the Facebook customer group who have been streaming with Mevo since 2017 and have been longing for that optical zoom. I'm with you there. I look forward to that becoming a reality. Either way, to be honest with you, Mevo's next or the VM33 getting NDI, and I don't know who's going to win that race, to be honest with you. Because as far, this is Mr. Lackman again, as far as I understand, you have to upgrade to the Pro version of the Multicam app to connect to a tail air, and that is true. I keep that subscription. It's just part of what I do with all the streaming that I do with sports and church and community stuff, and the ability to throw my phone in as a camera or to throw one of these other cameras in. Yeah, it's too valuable not to just go ahead and do it. For those who were already paying to multi-stream, it's the same price. You get all the benefits. It's the same price as Restream or Caster or what the old Vimeo was back in the day. So yeah. Are you, okay, this is Trevor again. Are you saying that NDI allows me to feed in our computer screen into the Multicam app like it's another video source? Yes, we are saying that. So you run NDI tools on your computer. It's both Mac and Windows compatible. NDI tools, and you can pick the computer screen up as an input in Mevo Multicam. Yes, absolutely, can do that. And it's very handy because it does, like you say, give us a video source that's running video. You can do announcements, you can do pre-roll, you can do sponsorships, you can do all those things that are allowed once you can get video into your stream. It's good stuff. Okay. Can you control the YOLOBox Pro with a connected touchscreen monitor, TCB, and a flash? Asks. No idea. I am not well versed on that one enough with a connected touchscreen monitor. I've never even used a connected touchscreen monitor, but it's a touchscreen device, maybe. I don't know how that works. Okay. Michael says November for the OBSBot. Really, they're saying that you're going to have it in your hand in November. This is October 25th. So, within reason, in 5 weeks, that would be the end of November. 4.5 weeks, you would have it in hand, which means all of the software would be at least ready for prime time, if not completely finished. And we've seen other companies release software that wasn't quite finished yet, but the hardware was, so they went ahead and sent it out. Okay, that's fine. All right, I get that. I like that. I like that timeline though. That's pushing some software out pretty quick. That's good stuff. Columbus High School Blue Devils baseball. Are you running multicam on Android because of split screen scoring? No, I'm running multicam on iPad because of Stage Manager, which allows me this look. It allows me to have 4 apps running at the same time. None of them are considered in the background if they're running like that, and so you're seeing all that I wanted to show between the Mevo Multicam software and the eMeet StreamCam software, and that's in Stage Manager on an iPad, not on the Android. I have used that split screen on Android to do baseball games, to run multicam on one side and iScore or even sideline score on the other side. So it's that works too. But this is what I'm using tonight. Okay. Michael, I believe you. Absolutely, and I mean, that's. I hope you're right. I hope they're right. I hope they're truthful. I hope they're able to get that out in such a time. I may reach out to my contact at OBSBot and see if he has any inside information for me there. Would anybody like to see any piece of any of this software? I can bring it up on the screen and I can show what that software is doing, if you like, of any of these 4 cameras, if that's something you'd like to see. So another question, what is Stage Manager? Not sure how much I believe, but fingers crossed. Me too, Michael. Me too. What is Stage Manager? So that is just a feature of iOS 15, I believe, and above. It may have been iOS 16, but we're on 17 now. So surely if you've got an iPad that has an A15 or higher chip, A15, M1, M2. If you've got one of those iPads, I believe Stage Manager is available to you in your iPad. And so the way that works, and I think maybe I can show that to you, there is my iPad screen, right? I've got a couple of apps running on it. I could add 2 more if we wanted to add, I don't know, whatever, anything else. I could add Nearstream back in here and let that run too. I could let all 3 of those cameras run through here if I wanted to. But when I go up to the this little spot right here that allows me, well, it only shows on my other screen. Sorry, I was going to try to show you that, but there's an icon in the drop down box that would be right above there. That's the best I can do. That would allow you to turn on Stage Manager, but it's only available in their more recent versions of iOS. Yeah. Okay. Fathead32, for your information, I use the T-Mobile home internet at the ball field using a Jackery power source, and it's been fantastic. Every field has had 5G, fast, reliable speeds, and no data cap for $50 a month. You're using the home internet, and they don't care that you're taking it to different, you're not leaving it at your address. I need to look into that. I use T-Mobile around here, and it has gotten better and better. So I bought it. I switched to it for my streaming because I went to a town to stream a baseball game, and Verizon had nothing. I mean, nothing, 0 service. And I was bemoaning that to the baseball coaches, and one of them said, "I've got full bars." I said, "Well, check your upload speed. Do a speed test right quick." And so he did. And he was getting like 30 megabits per second up. I was like, "This is fantastic. What service do you have?" T-Mobile. So I went ahead and switched over because of that. And then it wasn't so great in the town just north of us. And I do a lot of business up there. That's where we shop. That's where we go out to eat and all that good stuff. But they have improved it. And so T-Mobile has gotten better and better. But if their home internet doesn't care, then yeah, that's cool. Okay. And for $50 a month, that may be cheaper than what I'm getting for my Encego hotspot. Wow, that's crazy. All right. So, okay, thanks, Lackman. Yes, I use iPad. And it just depends on which version of it you have, I guess. Um, Oscar, I saw your video on the Zowie box. Will that device, encoder, enable a Canon C100 Mark II to be used as another NDI source with the Mevo multi-camera app? If the Canon C100 Mark II has HDMI out in any form, the answer is yes, because you're going to plug the HDMI cable between the Canon and the Zowie box, and on the other end of that Zowie box, it's going to be an NDI signal that will register on your network. So yes, it will. The short answer, a great question, yes, it will. It'll take any HDMI camera and put it on your network as an NDI source, and it's good. I mean, it's not too expensive. Latency is almost nothing. It's a really, really good device. And then switching around and going the other way, I was just blown away that I can put it on my network and pull. I tested that the other day. I think I released a short on it. I tested that. I put it on the network and pulled my PTZ camera that's right up here because it's NDI, and I wanted to bring it back into HDMI, and I plugged it into my YOLO box. That's what I did. Yep, that's the test I did the other day. Okay. Fat Heather, they don't care. Well, I appreciate the information. I may be looking at a T-Mobile home internet here pretty quick. No caps, $50 a month. That's amazing. All right. They suggested it when I went to get a hotspot. Well, even better. You've got a good T-Mobile next to you then. That's awesome. That's awesome. Yes, in Columbus High School, Columbus High Blue Devils baseball says that's excellent info, and they're right. It is. What router do you use if you're streaming outdoors? What do you recommend? Nighthawk? Maybe. I don't do the Nighthawk. I do the Slate AXT 1800. It is a Wi-Fi 6 personal travel router. It'll take from my hotspot. It'll take internet in. It's got 2 LAN ports. Of course, if I plug in a switch to it, I can have as many ports as I want. But I can power it for hours and hours with this little 10 milliamp hour power bank. There are a lot of folks who will take and sideload software on it that will allow them to run Speedify at the root, and so they can actually bond network connections. So if they plug their Wi-Fi, their hotspot into it, and they use the Wi-Fi feature of the Slate as well, they can bond their anyway. That you didn't ask that, but that's the one that I use. Slate AXT. It's gli.net or something like that. gli.net, something like that. Anyway, all right. Oscar, you are most welcome. TCB and a flash. You can even drive around with the T-Mobile home internet and you'll have Wi-Fi. I think it only needs to be connected to a sine wave power source. Well, I got one of those. Man, that's a great bit of information. Fantastic. Okay, let's look at a comparison again. I'm gonna switch back over to the There's my Samsung tablet running the OBSBot software. Let's let that chase me around a little bit. Okay, so that's going to be tracking me. I've got it set for, I think, half body tracking. So let's look at the OBSBot. All right, so here is one of my OBSBot tail airs, right? Okay, so many of us have used the Mevo. I guess I'll keep showing it in comparison to. All right, so it's quite a bit taller. I don't have a whole lot of great light here. There we go, tilt it up. Maybe we can see it a little better. Yep, okay. So Mevo, no matter which way you look at this one, it's kind of the same. All right. Height-wise, it's different, but because the PTZ head pan tilt head, I mean, sticks up above. But there's the visible difference there, okay? And then the other one that we have is the eMeet StreamCam 1. 8-hour battery life. Are y'all aware of that? 8-hour battery life on the eMeet StreamCam 1? They've still got some software glitches to figure out, but if they get it figured out, that's going to be a gem because it's cheap. It's got a microphone. I could put that right here and have microphone on me, right? They need to get that software dialed in, but once they do, it's going to be awesome. All right, so there it is, comparison-wise. They are closest to the same size of any of these cameras that I'm testing or showing tonight. Okay. The Slate ALX will only draw 2 amps if you are not using the USB port, so it's a great solution for running a router outdoors off a power bank. Agreed. We agree on that one, Michael. Thank you for that information. Either of the ports on my ElectJet will run, where am I? Over here. Will run the, is that where yeah, that's where I am. We'll run the Slate, okay? So either of those, the USB-C or the USB-A, will run it no problem. I like this one because when I run it all the way down, I can recharge it in 27 minutes. I've done that many times. I've tested it many times, timed it. 27 minutes back to a full charge, 100%, from as low as to completely off. This one is a 26,500 maybe milliamp hour battery pack, and I have marked the one, I have marked the one that will run the Slate on this one because the other one won't. It's a lesser power. This one's over 2 amps. This one is not. So just kind of have to know what it is that you know, what battery power you're running when you're going to be using that little personal router. It works great. Ken says, I am streaming hockey up here in Canada, and are either of these Mevo, eMeet, or GoPro better for panning on a tripod? The flow of hockey is pretty fast. Yes, it is. The flow of hockey is very fast. And let me ask you this, Ken. Do you keep a wide shot? Where am I looking? I'm still over here. I need to get back because I'm used to looking at that one right there. Sorry. Do you keep a wide shot when you're streaming hockey? I mean, I can't imagine trying to zoom in on two or three players and keep them in because they move so fast. You keep a pretty wide. That's going to track me now for a while. Do you keep a pretty wide shot when you're streaming hockey? I asked that in order to answer your question. My opinion is it's all about the head on your tripod. If you keep a wide shot, 84 degree field of view on the Mevo Start, 90 degree field of view on the eMeet StreamCam 1. Of course, you can set the GoPro, and I think the new ones you can choose. The old ones you would only do super wide when you were streaming, but I think the 10s and up you can set how wide your view is. But if you're keeping a pretty wide view, you like to zoom in if possible. Wow. I like a little bit of weight to a camera that's on a tripod, but that tripod head just has to be fluid, you know, because I mean, I'm assuming you're working it manually, and you're just having to try to keep it in view. I'm a Mevo guy. I still love the product. I still love the software that they have produced. I know the bugs in eMeet just are frustrating. I tried to do a video twice this week on a follow-up for eMeet StreamCam 1 in a multi-camera setting, and I am unable to get an audio bug worked out to be able to do that video. So I'm not going to recommend the eMeet yet. Maybe one day we can once they get those software bugs worked out. I'm not a huge fan of the GoPro because I stream where it's hot. It's not going to be hot where you are. It's just not going to last unless I pull the battery out, and then what's the use? So I'm going to go Mevo with the 3 that you chose, that you offered for choices. Anyway, TCB and a flash. Did you say you have network bonding on the Slate router? How did you do that? So yeah, if you look up Smooth WAN, Smooth, SMOOTH WAN, WAN, there is a Smooth WAN firmware you can load onto your Slate router, Slate personal travel router. If I remember right, Eric Gilbrunson had the best walkthrough. He's got a couple of YouTube channels, and he is very easy to understand, and he's very thorough in his explanation. I loaded it on my Slate, and then I rolled it back. I took it back off because I'm going to use Speedify on my iPad instead, and I like it just as fine. But yes, you can network bond with the Slate if you load Smooth WAN firmware on it. That is a truth. I have done that. Fathead says, an idea for a test that I would love to see would be to set up your different cameras, OBSBot, Vivo Start, VM33, in center field, baseball and softball, and show the clarity at home plate. Yeah, I mean, you'll have a little bit of clarity at second base, maybe. You're not going to have any clarity of anything except the VM33 at home plate, because the OBSBot's a 4x zoom, even though it's coming off of a 4K sensor. It's still only going to let you punch in so far, and second base is about as far as you'd have a usable shot, maybe. Mevo is going to let you push in 3.5 times. You might could push in more if you overrode the software, but I think 3.5 is actually the maximum. So I don't know. I don't think you're going to get any use out of the cameras that I've got, except the VM33, which has that 10x optical zoom plus another set of digital zoom that's actually pretty impressive. The picture quality on the VM33, I am very impressed with. Very impressed with the picture quality there. Okay. My iPhone 11 has to be zoomed in all the way, and digitally and video quality is not good. But yeah, I've done a lot of recording with an iPhone 11. I have the new 15. It has a 5x zoom, and will go up to like 25x digital. It's still not going to be good quality that far away. Can you show us what you use on your graphics menu? Can you show us what you use on your graphics menu? Are you talking about on the YOLOBox Pro, or are you talking about on the Mevo Multicam software? I need the answer to that before I can say yes. Clive Ludford has showed up in the chat. My man, how are you? It's good to see a name that I am familiar with. So glad you tuned in tonight. What clip-on mic are you using now? Is it able to go into any of the cameras? It will go into all of these cameras because it's a 3.5 millimeter, right? So where am I? On this end, I've just got the transmitter, right? There's the microphone block. I'm using a lapel instead. I like that. I don't like having the big block plugged onto my chest. And on the other end, I've plugged this into the 3.5 millimeter. Yeah, there it is. I think we're back. Oh, we are. Okay, sorry about that. Leave it to me. And then that end just plugs into the mic in line on my YOLOBox Pro, but I could have plugged it into any of these cameras and just pulled audio from one of those cameras, more or less, knowing that none of these cameras are actually going live except that one, because they're all just in software for visual sake. Yeah. Another option for Speedify is I am running Speedify on a mini PC with 3 hotspots into the mini PC, then out to the Slate. Oh, wow. That sounds like a really good setup, Michael. So far, I'm impressed. I'm impressed just hearing about it. That sounds like a really good setup. Are you taking that mini PC on the road with you and powering it with something? Tell us a little bit more about that, if you don't mind. Your next comment was you can also use a Raspberry Pi 4. Yes. I dabbled with Raspberry Pis for a while. I used them a lot for my print farm, for the printers that I had. I don't really have a farm. I just have printers. I used them a lot for Octoprint. I did a couple of projects, but I never really got to where I was comfortable enough to actually build things like that. So kudos to you. Way to go. Hi, Frank. How are you, my man? It's good to see another name that I'm familiar with. Just joined. Would you explain the setup again? Absolutely, yes. Let me tell you how all of this is running into what you're seeing. So the view we're looking at now is an OBSBot Tiny 2. It's the only one that's actually live. Uh, I mean, everything you're going to see is me in real time, but it's the only one that's connected directly to my YOLOBox Pro. I've run it into the USB-C input there, and so that's my main camera, and I'm streaming from the YOLOBox Pro. So that's where the stream is coming out from. My microphone is the Synco wireless microphone, and it's running into the mic in port there. So audio and video, there it is through the YOLOBox Pro, and then all these other inputs, I've run USB-C to HDMI out of my iPad, out of a Samsung tablet, out of another iPad. I have a fourth a fourth tablet, another Samsung here that's down right now. But yeah, so on this iPad that is USB-C to HDMI into the YOLOBox Pro, that is running the Mevo Multicam software and the eMeet StreamCam software side by side in Stage Manager. I've got them both on the screen. The Samsung tablet is running the OBSBot software so that we have a full screen view of that as well. And then the iPad mini is running the Nearstream VM33, which is on the other end of this auditorium. I've just got it zoomed in, so I've got this shot. So you can see each of these cameras that we're looking at. I kind of wanted to make sure I had that shot. And then I zoomed out while I go so you can see just how far away we are. I'm at 15 times zoom there. Yep, 15 times zoom on that one. So there's my setup, and I'm thoroughly enjoying it. It's been so fun to do these lives. I love doing these. Okay, so Michael says yes. The mini PC runs off a 5-volt 2-amp barrel plug into a. Oh, that's fantastic. That is pretty slick. Wow, you need to post some of that up. I mean, you need to let that be available for other folks to see and maybe try to mimic. Frank says that the video and audio both are excellent. Well, of course it is. It's running off a YOLOBox Pro. It has to be excellent. No other choice. Internet for the YOLOBox Pro is coming through both its SIM card. So that's going to be a T-Mobile SIM card, and through Ethernet cable, because my network is just right here. It made it easy, and I went ahead and turned Speedify on before I started, so I would have no problems. I've been going on this live stream for 47 minutes plus, and I have 0 drop frames. That's just what you get. Multicam and multi-source switching flawlessly. Great demonstration. You should do this every week. Oh, I'm wore out, man. It's a lot of fun. I thoroughly enjoy this, and I hope it's useful for folks. But no, there's no way I could do this every week. It took me way too long to set this up today. Okay, so do you have any other requests about showing software or showing hardware? I haven't looked at any ports on any of these devices. If you'd like to see, I'm not showed them. I mean, if you would like to see anything that you haven't had an answer to, maybe you're curious about how the different ports work on any of these various devices, I'll be glad to show them to you. But you put the questions in. I'll give the answers as best I can until I just can't go anymore. While there are still several of you here, can we cut this clip and turn it into a video? We'll feature you. Of course you can. We've talked about that in the past. Of course, you can take my stuff that's highlighted in YOLOBox anytime and show it. That would be fantastic. Yep. You know, I think I can toward the end. I think maybe I can toward the end, but it's all just kind of underneath my soundboard station here, and it's really not obvious, you know, as I follow the different cables. So I could bring in a Mevo Go input. Actually, I could bring in another Mevo camera on that one. I'll try it. I'll give it a shot. But while I've still got several of you on here, let me tell you this. It's the end of October, which means we're barreling down on Thanksgiving weekend. We're barreling down on that weekend where we do our annual giveaway. Last year we gave away several cameras. We gave away a lot of accessories. We gave away some prints like the 3D printed heat shield or the cold shoe mount. We gave a lot of things away last year. And I'm just going to go ahead and let you folks know, those that are paying attention right now, this year's giveaway will blow last year's out of the water. We've got stuff to give away. We've got many brands of cameras to give away. It's going to be so much fun, and it will happen Thanksgiving weekend. So Thanksgiving's on a Thursday in the United States, right? It's the last Thursday of November every year in the United States of America. And either Friday night or Saturday night, depending on what my family is doing for the weekend, we will be doing that giveaway about the same time like we did tonight. We'll go live and we'll have folks comment in the comments instead of in the chat so that they can be entered into a drawing, and we'll just start drawing. We'll draw until we've got nothing left to give away. And it's going to be so much fun to get to put some of these cameras and accessories and all the things that we have into people's hands. It's going to be fantastic. Okay, so yeah, let me get before I get to Clive's question, let me finish up with Frank. Can you show how they are connected? Yes, I was gonna bring my. Bring another camera in. So let me add here. It's probably the easiest way for me to do it. I don't know how big a screen though I can get on this one. That's fine. We'll give it a shot. I've got several cameras here I can choose from. It's just my church setup, so NTH is not connected to anything right now. Let's get that in there. Continue. Yep. So here's the one I was showing you a moment ago. If I go from here to image control, does that give me a bigger shot? A little bit bigger shot. That's not perfect. That's not great. I wonder if I can get that zoomed out. Oh yeah. So, all right. So if I step back, that's kind of small. Wish I could get you a bigger, better shot, you know? All right. So iPad, YOLOBox Pro, iPad Mini in between them. And I'm just running from, that's a Lightning to USB, a Lightning to HDMI adapter there. On this iPad, let me get those headphones back out of the way. Yeah, this is incredibly unprofessional. Why would you even ask? This is terrible. So I'm running another USB-C to HDMI. And then if I squeeze on over here to this Samsung tablet, I have yet another USB-C to HDMI cable there, adapter there, running cables. And then I have 3 HDMI cables running into the YOLOBox Pro. That one's not anything. Okay, there's my Ethernet. And then this one is the, back up. Yeah. This one is the USB-C that's going to the OBSBot Tiny 2. Here is my monitor headphone. Where is that? And the lighting in here is terrible, isn't it? And then, of course, this is my audio in, and then there's power on the end. So that's what I've got. And then what that is allowing is for this OBSBot Tail, this eMeet StreamCam 1, this Mevo Start, and then the Tiny 2, of course. And then way up there where that piano is on the left-hand side of the platform, there's the VM33. Yeah? Okay. Now that we got that squared away, let me see if I can set that down. That would be the wisest thing for me to do. Yep, there it is. Be done with that. Go ahead and remove that camera because it's just going to be in the way. Yes, and get back to A more familiar shot. There we go. Okay, so drop the link for the power bank in the description. It may already be there. I'm not sure. Let me look. In the description, cameras. Oh, that's an old list. My goodness. Okay, I will. I'll put the link for that power bank in the description. It's not there for some reason. I need to update that apparently. Okay. Thanks for all you've done. You've helped me from crooked camera with zip ties to 3 to 6. That's fantastic. I'm encouraged to know that. I now have the confidence to just press go live. I love that statement. That's a paraphrase of Omar El Takroy from Think Media, who says you got to just press record. It's in some of their video openings, you know, and you just hear his voiceover. You got to just press record. Well, we got to just press go live. That's one of the things about whether I'm church streaming or whether I'm community streaming or whether I am sports streaming. Get over the jitters and just hit go live. It's gonna work. It's gonna wash out. It's kind of like tonight. I just hit go live, right? I scheduled it, but I mean, I just hit it, and so eventually you get there. The jitters go away, and you're all right, and everything works really well. Thank you so much, Fathead. I appreciate you being here. Appreciate the community that we get to be a part of. It's good stuff. Yep. All right. Any other questions? Any other comments? If you don't have them, we're closing in on an hour, and I am needing to go see my sweet little wife. I got to see her for just a few minutes when she got home, and it's time to go see the honey, right? So, all right. Well, thank you guys for being with us tonight. If you have follow-up questions, be sure and leave them in the comments of this video. I'll do my best to answer all the comments that you guys leave. And there we go. Do you happen to know if Mevo has a 4K camera in the works? I love having a fixed position camera that I can use attached to a baseball backstop and still be able to zoom, pan, but hate losing the resolution. I am not the person to ask that question. I don't work for Mevo, so I apologize that I'm going to dodge that one. But that's not something that I can answer for you, Scott. I appreciate the question, and a lot of folks are looking forward to a 4K that will allow us to zoom. Man, all I can tell you is hold on. Just hold on. All right, TCB, do you stream your church service from ProPresenter? How do you set that up? I have streamed. Hey, I'm seeing more names that I recognize. I'm glad you joined late. Thanks for being here. You're a great encouragement to me on my channel, Fast Cash. Thank you so much. Okay, TCB, I used to. When I had one volunteer who would man this station, they would do the slides for our worship and for my preaching time, and they would do the stream. I got another volunteer. Instead of trying to put them both right here, I handed that one an iPad, and we're doing it through Multicam at this point. But it's not a complicated process. In ProPresenter, you're just going to set up your capture settings in the screens menu. You're going to attach whatever camera you want. I did them through NDI. I just put them on my network, same network that the computer's on, and it found them. You set them up. You punch in your RTMP settings for where you're going live to. There are good tutorials on how to do that on YouTube. It's not that bad, but if that's something you're wanting to do, reach out to me in my channel email. It's listed there in the description of most videos. It may not be this one because it's an old description for some reason. Yeah, I don't see the channel email on that one. Sorry about that. Oh, yeah, it is. It's right there, channel email. So, yeah, reach out to me on my channel email. I'll be glad to try to help you walk through it. Love helping churches get to the point where they can stream their services. So, yeah, be glad to try to help on that one if that's what you need, TCB. No problem. Okay? All right. Well, good night, folks. You've been great. Look forward to doing it next time. If not next month, maybe before then.